Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, coming to you live once again with a first impressions video talking about the first episode of a brand new anime called Princess Principal. And this was actually all kinds of badass. I loved the look, the feel, and the vibe of this very noirish, very steampunk. It was kind of reminding me of a combination of a few different things. One was being the manga I used to read, Steam Detectives, a long time ago now. I still have one or two volumes of it, and I haven't flipped through it in a while, but just the aesthetics, the steampunk aesthetics, the idea of spies and everything like that, it was really rife in this first episode. I love the world. Another one was 91 Days in that criminalistic aspect, because this is taking place turn of the century-ish, and Aria the Scarlet Ammo as well, because of all the girls who make up this primary spy group working out of an academy. They all go to school within and everything like that under the leader of the principal, I guess, and it was just actually really awesome. I immediately love the sort of more focused upon main character of Ange, who is lying left, right, and center out of both sides of her face, around every corner she turns, and it's interesting because there's a tip of the hat to her possibly having a more dramatic history. She claims she had witnessed her family's brutal murder, but you don't really know if you can take that literally or you have to take it with a grain of salt, because they also show a portrait of her standing beside a heavy woman, a matronly woman. So did she just spirit herself away, and this is this sort of history she's reconstructed for herself? Is she lying about that? Does she actually still have a family out there somewhere, or did she actually witness their demise at the hands of others, and she's been on the run ever since? It's really hard to tell, and I kind of like that that's much of a wild card in this environment. Whereas I say we're dealing with these spies, they give you this grand backstory about how, because this is the turn of the century, we're dealing with it's sort of East versus West, the Commonwealth versus the kingdom and the elites and everything like that, and we're dealing very much with people who are trying to defect over the wall to freedom and to more prosperous living, as we are introduced to in this episode with the character of Eric, who reminded me very much of Otacon from the Metal Gear Solid series, especially dealing with the fact that he has a little sister whom we find out, her name is Amy. She's, apparently come under this poisoning effect of something called cavorite. Now we see cavorite being utilized by Ange in the beginning of the episode when they are, getting their hands on this guy to help spirit him away. And it's almost supernatural. It kind of reminds me of Materia from Final Fantasy VII. But this allows her to be like flying around, jumping great heights, flipping over cars, that kind of thing. And it's actually pretty spectacular. And, without wanting to completely just recap the entirety of the episode, I really thought it was phenomenal, the turn that it took, the tide that, turned toward the end of the episode, where we find out that this guy's been lying. He is a spy, sort of up and coming. He's very green, not very proficient as one, but he's been trying to pull the wool over their eyes to sniff them out for the opposing faction, the opposing side, and take down this little spy organization that's made up of all these girls. We also have a really kick-ass ninja chick too, who's throwing down in a couple of scenes when they catch up to the people, the compatriots that this Eric guy is working for secretly, and trying to bide time and completely pull the wool over the eyes of Ange and her compatriots. And it was actually pretty freaking phenomenal. And then you get, like I say, that impact. The other leg drops where Ange finally realizes, her entire unit finally realizes what this guy's been up to, using sort of note by pigeon, whatever they call that. And they catch him. They catch him in his ruse, and then even to his dying moments. First, of course, Ange has him sign something, and she says, well, anyone we kill has to sign a document or whatever like that. I don't even know if he understood what that document was, and we, the viewer, really don't until later. But then as she's shooting him, he asks, are you going to kill me now? No, 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 every shot, no, no, no. It was just really impactful. But then the other leg drops, as I say, with that revelation that what he signed was the insurance information, so that in the wake of his death, a week later, they find his body a week later. In the wake of that, though, they can use money for surgery to help his little sister. So even for his sacrifice, unbeknownst to himself, and through the big naturedness, the big heartedness of Ange, his little sister will be able to prosper and still have a life. After we also find out she was a ballet dancer and she has all the scars and calluses on her feet to prove it, and she had been accepted to a ballet school. So it was just really dramatic and meaningful having it turn that tide toward the end in what was already a really bombastic, explosive, exciting kind of framework in this very steampunk environment, dealing with spies, East versus West, turn of the century, all of those aesthetics just really wowed me. As I have said before, I hold my reservations as to whether or not I'm going to want to pick this up episodically and discuss it every single week. I don't know as yet. It all depends on like episode 2 and how I feel after watching it and such like that. But had to do a first impressions video because holy wow, I'm going to be definitely watching this excitedly so every Sunday, and it seems like it has so much potential to be all kinds of awesome sauce. It already is, but I can't wait to see where they go, building upon these foundations that we were introduced to in just this first episode. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you've seen episode 1 of Princess Principal as well, if you enjoyed it as much as I did. I know one of you did. One of you gave me a heads up in comments on my last video that I uploaded, and it was definitely one I wanted to check out. I was excited to check out, and it wowed me. It completely, blew me out of the water expectations wise. And so yeah, bring on the next one. Can't wait to see it. Hope this video finds you well. That'll be pretty much it for me on this, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.